So, viewers, today we are with a new chapter known as consumer motivation. This consumer motivation is a very important topic in consumer behavior. So, let us start. What is consumer motivation? Motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal oriented behaviors. Motivation is basically produced by a state of tension by having a need which is unfulfilled. So consumers want to fulfill those needs and reduce the state of tension. Like when you are hungry, you feel tensed and you search for food. So this the need for food can be considered as motivation. Then what is needs? Needs is something that is necessary for an organism to live a healthy life. So needs are the essence of the marketing concept. Marketers do not create needs but can make consumers aware of the needs. Like you need a pair of jeans. Next comes goals. What are goals? A goal is the cognitive representation of a desired state, or in other words, our mental idea of how we would like things to turn out. So there are two types of goals. One is generic goal, another is product specific goals. Generic goals are general categories of goals that consumers see as a way to fulfill their needs, and product specific goals are specifically branded products or services that consumers select as their goals. So with the example, if we take like the example of jeans, we can understand there are two types of goals. Like when a consumer states that they want a pair of jeans, they have stated a generic goal. But when the same consumer speaks for a branded jeans like Nike jeans or Lee jeans, then they have stated product specific goals. Consider a holiday travel plan. So how do you plan your next coming holiday, or think of any plan that you had before? What factors are there that can influence your decision making? So the goals that are selected totally depend on individual personal experiences, physical capacity, prevailing cultural norms and values, and goals accessibility in the physical and social environment. So consumers have many possible goals when making decisions. They are strongly influenced by their experiences, personality, and others' opinions and input. When choosing goals, they have to keep in mind that what is socially acceptable and what they can physically attain. So, for example, if you try to select a goal, like you try to choose a holiday, now here your personal experiences regarding the place or regarding the state or regarding the country may come into action to whether you like to visit that place or not based on your previous experiences. Physical capacity, like the amount of budget you are considering, the amount of money you have in hand, so everything will come into question while selecting the goal. Prevailing cultural norms and values. Sometimes it happens that when you choose a particular goal regarding holidays, you also see the prevailing cultural norms present in the family or the society. It happens that like during festival time, all the family members like to stay together. So in that case, if you like to visit a certain place, you may think of choosing certain spot where you can take all the family members together there. Next is goals accessibility in the physical and social environment. Sometimes it may happen that you would like to visit a foreign country, but your passport's validity has expired. So this is the limitation that you are having at that time, that you cannot visit the foreign country because of the expiry of validity of your passport. So here comes the goals accessibility. So you have limited access to your goal. Next, we would like to understand regarding rational versus emotional motive. Now, what is rational motive? Rationality implies that consumers select goals based on totally objective criteria such as size, weight, price, or miles per gallon. That means, in case of rational motive, a person or a customer uses his brain, logic, facts, and figures to come to the conclusion that why he would like to purchase that product or services. Similar way, in emotional product motive, the selection of goals according to personal or subjective criteria. So here the customer doesn't use his brain or logic but goes by his emotions. There are different types of arousal of motives, how the motives arises. Number one is physiological arousal. So it likes when a person gets hungry, he chooses or he looks for or searches for food items. Next is emotional arousal, that is being frustrated. Sometimes when the customer gets frustrated, suppose for taking example of a mobile phone, if the screen is damaged and you are not able to type properly, you are not able to see anything properly, so you get frustrated. So at that time you will have some emotional arousal, and like you would like to purchase mobile phone as soon as possible. So it comes from frustration. Next is cognitive arousal. They read an ad that make them think about their needs. So suppose this is right now COVID situation is prevailing. So in a television, you watch the television and sometime you get an ad which speaks about some life insurances of persons who are affected by COVID. Here it states that if somebody is affected by COVID, then he may get full reimbursement of the treatment expenses, etc. So earlier you didn't know that, but as soon as you have seen the advertisement, there had been some ignition in your mind and you started thinking regarding the insurance policy. So it is called cognitive arousal. Next comes environmental arousal. So it's like totally external to the human mind. Here when the environment stimulates or environment tells you to do some or purchase some product or services. In other words, you can say that environment gives you the arousal to purchase some products or service. Like when it's very cold, you purchase jacket. When it's very hot or very humid temperature, you purchase light t-shirts, etc. So what does a consumer motivation do? Consumer motivation represents the drive to satisfy both physiological and psychological needs through product purchases and consumption. It gives insights into why people buy certain products. It stems from consumer needs. So that is why many industries we find that are totally built around basic human needs. So next is types of needs. So there are basically two types of need: innate needs and acquired needs. So what are innate needs? These are physiological or biogenic needs that are considered primary needs or motives, like the basic needs. Next comes your acquired needs. Here, learned in response to our cultural or environment, are generally psychological and considered secondary needs. So these acquired needs are acquired, that is when you go to some place or you see somebody or you see your peers, then you generate a sense of being similar to them, and then you try to purchase a product or services to look or to have the same status as the other individual. So the need for food is like more of an innate need and is considered a primary need, whereas a need for a pair of jeans could be considered acquired. So you find that all of your friends who visits a particular place always wear a jeans, so you also like to purchase a pair of jeans. So this is totally an acquired category of needs. Safety and healthy needs. Sometimes a consumer may be very much conscious regarding his health, etc. So this type of threats to our safety and health motive purchases for personal security and protection. Here the example of Tropicana is given, where the Tropicana states about light and healthy with 1/3 less sugar and calories. Next is like need for love and companionship. So services and products help individuals find and attract others. Products are often used as a symbol of love and caring. Here it gives the example of Tanishq. It says that if you need the best bridal styling, you need to go to Tanishq. Next is need for financial resources. Sometimes many people are interested in having different kinds of savings account or interest in mutual funds, etc. So these type of customers will always have a crave for financial resources. Next is social image needs. conspicuous consumption. It says that purchasers motivated to some extent by the desire to show other people how successful they are. So from the ad you can see it's written, where you live is who you are. So if you live in a very multi-storied real estate building, then it shows how much rich you are. So companies reinforce the notion that products enable users to communicate their social image. Next is need for pleasure. So products, services and consumption activities provide fun and excitement, like the advertisement given by Pepsi Blue. It totally tells that if you drink Pepsi Blue you can enjoy, and even if you are enjoying something at that time also you can drink Pepsi Blue. Next is need to possess. Consumers often acquire products simply because of the need to own such products, like collectors. Often we find many people are having the habit of stamp collection or antique collection. So what they do, as soon as they see any antique pieces or stamp etc., they directly go and purchase the item. So it plays a role in impulse buying, where consumers unexpectedly experience a sudden and powerful urge to buy something immediately, because if this antique product is available, so if he doesn't purchase at that time, somebody else may purchase, and it is only of single piece. So if you don't purchase at the time, you will miss that and somebody else will have the ownership of that antique piece. Next is need to give. So need to give is like it's when we purchase some products and services based on the loyalty, they try to give some points, or they try to help us in accumulating some points which can be used in future in place of in substitute to cash or money. So it's like give something back to others or reward ourselves. So self gifts let us motivate, reward and console ourselves. So whenever we regularly purchase an item or a service, some points try to be accumulated in that account. Like when you go to Big Bazaar, our Big Bazaar card often are used for accumulating some points which can be used further without paying any money. We can purchase several items. Similarly, when we use the Jet Airways also has a card which accumulates points which can be further used to book tickets without paying money or paying a little amount of money. Next is need for information. So it plays an important role in persuasion. If an ad appears when consumers need information, they are more likely to pay attention than when they don't need the information. So if you need a particular information and similar ad is being shown in the television, so you will be attracted towards the advertisement. And if you are not interested in getting the information regarding the product, you may skip the advertisement and move to next channel. So that is why one reason we read or watch TV fuels internet usage. Like when we watch TV, we get some advertisement, and to further search of information, we like to search in internet, and it fuels internet usage. Need for variety. Marketers may also introduce different version of original brand to create variety among their products, and they also try to have a product positioning by bringing variety in their products. So next is dynamics of motivation. Needs are never fully satisfied, as we all know. New needs emerge as the old needs are satisfied. So people who achieve their goals and they satisfy their need, then a new set of higher goals are being considered for next few days to come. So if you purchase a mobile phone costing around 10,000, maybe your next wish in few years to come may be purchasing a mobile phone costlier than that. Next comes substitute goals. Now what are substitute goals? These goals are used when a consumer cannot attain a specific goal he or she anticipates will satisfy a need. So it is very common that a consumer cannot attain a goal. This may be due to lack of money or ability or desire or accessibility. In this instance, the consumer often substitutes a different goal to reduce the tension created for the existence of this need. So in time, the substitute goal might replace the initial goal. For instance, like if a consumer wanted a certain cable television service but it was not available in their area, so they might choose a satellite television provider, and over time they may be very satisfied with this choice and feel that they actually prefer the satellite service over the cable television service. So the substitute goal generally dispels tension. Substitute goals may actually replace the primary goal over time as discussed. Next is frustration. So failure to achieve a goal may result in frustration. Some adapt, others adopt defense mechanism to protect their ego. So failure to achieve a goal and the frustration that follows has been experienced by everyone at some time or the other. So marketers must realize what consumers' responses might be there and how they can address their responses. Online education, for example, exists for those who are too far or do not have any structured time to attend college. The table on the next slide represents several defense mechanisms that consumers might exhibit. So in the next slide we will understand the different types of defense mechanism. So whenever there is frustration, either some people adapt to that or some people show defense mechanism. Then what are the different defense mechanism? There are different types of defense mechanism available, like aggression, rationalization, regression, withdrawal. What is aggression? So in response to frustration, individuals may resort to aggressive behavior in attempting to protect their self-esteem. The tennis pro who slams his tennis racket to the ground when disappointed with his game, or the baseball player who physically intimidates an umpire for his call, are examples of such conduct. So are the consumers' boycotts of companies or stores. So sometimes, example, if you find that during strikes or during riots, so you often find that few people try to destroy very luxury car of other people, because they are so much frustrated on their own inability to purchase such vehicle. That is why they try to destroy others, because they don't know if I can't have, then others should also not have. Next type of defense mechanism is rationalization. So here people sometimes resolve frustration by inventing plausible reasons for being unable to attain their goals. Example, not having enough time to practice, or deciding that the goal is not really worth pursuing. So sometimes here the question of substitute goal comes when one person decides to achieve a goal and he cannot attain that goal, he goes for a substitute goal. Like if one person want to visit Bangkok, then for some or the other reason he could not visit Bangkok, so he may prefer Andaman, which will give the same feeling of a Bangkok rather than staying in the same country. Next defense mechanism is regression. So an individual may react to a frustrating situation with childish or immature behavior. So in this type of defense mechanism, a consumer behaves like a child or have an immature behavior. A shopper attending a bargain sale, for example, may fight over a merchandise and even rip a garment that another shoppers will not be able to purchase that one. So sometimes people, what they do when they purchase a product, if they are not able to purchase that product, they in a retail mart may sometimes hide that product so that nobody else also can able to purchase. So they have the belief that if they are not be able to purchase, then others should not also have the ability to purchase that one. Last defense mechanism is withdrawal. So sometimes frustration may result by simply withdrawing from the situation. For instance, a person who has difficulty achieving officer status in an organization may decide that his time more constructively can be used in other activities and simply quit the organization.